Wow. I just watched that last one that we made. Tell them right now. Whew. Wow. Wow. I was just sitting there going, that was a deep prayer. That really helped. Um, um, from the caves to cosmos, Native American, how Native Americans read the stars and built a civilization. Don't spend a lot of time stargazing and trying to read your existence from the stars. Okay. You'll waste a lot of your time trying to quantify your existence and negate the true wisdom and beauty of it in your delusions of grandeurs by constantly looking past yourself. Bob Marley, if you know what life is worth, you look for yours on earth, so now you see the light. So stand up for your right. Okay. How many other symbiotic life forms throughout the cosmos, okay, have the same gift to faithfully love one another on a planet like ours? Okay. So stop trying to transcend your existence and wasting your existence on trying to leave a legacy of delusions of grandeur. Okay. The most important thing you can do with human beings is love and be loved in return. Old Judy Krishnamurti and Nat King Cole's The Nature Boy. So you got to understand that, guys, that life is far too precious. That scary collision between Max Muncy and Ildarmo Vargas or whatever. Okay. You guys, when you play sports, I was watching the kids the other night on TV, and I like the kids. Okay. But it's bad training, bad coaching, bad understanding, competition. I saw, they'll run and they'll run in front of each other. It's the way they're coached, and they'll try to stop the other person, and they can hurt. That's what got me abused here in Cruces, was I was so fast. I could draw charges from people when they were vulnerable, and it could hurt them. And people would try to do that to me, and they weren't fast enough. And I could get out of the way and stuff like that, but they would still come in and hurt you because they wanted to stop you, because they wanted to be better than you. And a lot of times they see as being better, Cobra Kai, sweep the leg, right? And I hated that shit. And I used to tell my coaches, I'm not going to hurt somebody else or hurt myself, but especially not go out to hurt someone else. If I accidentally end up hurting myself doing something, I understand that, okay? But if I do something selfish to succeed and hurt somebody else doing it, like the whole thing, because Larry Bird was diving into the stands, and I wouldn't. And no, I'm not going to dive in stands and possibly hurt the spectators or little kids in the stands or something like that to get a goddamn loose ball for you. If I can't do it under control, where I won't go flying in and hurt somebody, I won't do it. So, I'd made spectacular saves if it wasn't near the stands and it was out near the end of the thing and there was no cheerleaders in the way. Jump up in the air, jump 3 feet in the air, look around the whole thing, throw it exactly who I wanted to throw it to. Beautiful saves, okay? But diving into the stands where I could hurt people, hell no. It's going out of bounds, okay? And they used to get mad at me. They used to tell me I was arrogant. Because I would explain it to them the same way I'm explaining it to you right now. I was 15, 16 years old. They were in their 40s. Okay. Nothing pisses off a Gordon B. Hinckley, a Spencer J. Kimball, and an Ezra Taft Benson, and a John McCain more than a young whippersnapper who's a better human being than them. How Caiaphas, Herod, and Jesus of us, right? A person can be 4 years old and more intelligent than a 90-year-old head of a corporation who put on a self-righteous hypocrite show for money his whole entire life. and wasted his whole life reading books and stargazing, thinking he was doing great things, believing the delusions of stories in his ego over the truth of a real Messiah who's 4 years old, and goes, no, it's wrong to kill Jesus to pay for your crimes. It's not valid. It's not scientific. It's not reasonable. It's not rational. And I remember that I remember it clear as yesterday. It was during Easter Sunday service before I turned 4, because it was before my sister was born. And my sister Linda and my dad explained to me, no, Earl, you don't understand it. He was perfect. He had to sacrifice for us to save us from being bad people. He had to do it. We're not good enough. And I'm sitting there going, no. When I watch Lone Ranger and Tonto, if Butch Cavendish tries to frame the innocent guy to pay for his crimes, Lone Ranger and Tonto have to save the innocent guy from the bad guy. So no, you're wrong. They could not convince me. And my mom's sitting there going, I think my 4-year-old's a genius, right? I think he's right. Because she was sitting there listening to their argument, like Gordon B. Spencer J. Kimball's argument, and then she was listening to my reasoning, and she was saying, "No, the 4-year-old's right. Okay. You can hit it with a stick; it's not going to change. He's correct. Right? They're wrong. He's right. Okay. You don't save a guilty person by killing the innocent person. That's insane. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. It's demonic. Okay, it's criminal, right? And so, and trust me, the Vatican, the Mormon Church, NASA, the FBI, I don't know, they probably had the CIA back then because it was in 1970. So yeah, they had the CIA. All were paying attention. Well, they weren't paying attention. They were eavesdropping. Okay. Because they sure the fuck weren't listening. And they sure the fuck weren't paying attention. They were eavesdropping. Right? Because the Mormon Church hasn't accepted Earl as the Messiah and living the commands of Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church isn't. The Pentagon hasn't. NASA hasn't. Me and Jennifer had that conversation on the way home. She was telling me, that, she has people that know people. Got friends in low places, and CIA and around here. And she's like, that your dad is not a terrible person. That he tries hard to be a good person, and every time he has troubles, he always asks Jesus to help him. Constantly, help me, be a better person. Whenever he gets mad or egotistical, he asks the Lord to help. He always asks the Lord to help. He always asks Jesus for help. And that can't be too bad of a person if he knows he's not as good of a person as Jesus, and he always asks Jesus for help. That's somebody that's trying, and realizes I need Jesus to save me from my ego. I said, yeah, that's very sweet of you. You're a total sweetheart. And then she tells me about the people in NASA. She, only a peewit judges a man by the group and a group by the man. I said, I know there are people, I've said that, I know there are people at NASA, okay, that don't want NASA to be massa over money. I understand that, okay. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the fucking corporation they're stuck in, okay. She's like, you can't. There is no winning or losing with me. Right is right, wrong is wrong, truth is truth, and lie is lie. Who loves you, pretty baby? Okay. Who's gonna love you, mama? And stop yelling at me when I'm in the barn. Okay. I understand, okay? And I understand that I've got to, that she's like, you got to trust, Jeff, trust them. I understand. You got to be faster at the store. Those kids work at the store. Are any of them going online and going on your YouTube and saying, Parsons is the Messiah? We got to tell everybody. Okay. Who's putting in more work to save them from chemical poisoning from bad economics? And I understand that there are people in the stockholders and in the hierarchy of Walmart that want this to radically change and change radically, that want to have freezers in basements and people and live the ways of King Saul. I understand that, Miss Lenny Lopez. Okay? Yeah, I message received. And she swears up and down that I'm the most stubborn human. Because I got the thing with Michelle Obama, too, about being a Capricorn. And her brother says, you're stubborn and bossy. And something's wrong with my baby, something's wrong with me. That's me. And so I get this Capricorn from Chicago, and she's like, no, I get him. He's not stubborn and bossy. He's not stubborn and bossy at all. It's like I told the lady at Walmart, say it works at Walmart. He's like Goodwill Hunting, the belt or the pipe? The pipe, fuck him, right? And they know this. And then I get it, and I'm like, thank you. The girls were cute. Yeah. Very charming, very funny. And, the one girl knows she's very funny, and the other girl knows she's very charming. But they're both very charming. But the other, she's funny. I know she is funny too. That's why you like her so much. I get it. Yeah, they're funny. The little girls that she had on the little show thing that they recommended that was on my thing when I turned it around, right? When I showed you, and it had Michelle Obama's picture on there on her little podcast. I was like, yeah, they were cute. Okay. I know. I understand I'm the focal point. But Michelle's like, Earl's not being stubborn. No. He just knows he can get more people through hell and correct technology more rapidly the more that they abuse him through hypocrisy. And he's the type of person, let's speed this motherfucker up. I ain't waiting. Okay, he's just that type of guy. And if he can recover, he'll do it. And it's painful, and it's lonely, and it's abusive, and his legs hurt, and then I get Jennifer over there. Okay, well then if your legs hurt, she goes, yeah, it's taking more time to load. Right. So then you can be like James and get up and exercise. Okay, I saw the thing with James where he was exercising and doing his recruiting on his video. You can play your video game and connect to the technology and exercise and do Terra Tai Chi at the same time. Okay, I know. And then you and that goddamn pipe instead of the belt. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And she's yelling at me. Good gravy. She is passionate. She's a passionate Latina. I'm like laughing my ass off. She's yelling in my head while I'm shooting hoops. She goes like, you got to do this now. I know I got to do this more. I know I got to I'll get a hoop outside and shoot outside too every chance I get, because I get more oxygen again. And while the mosquitoes ain't bad, do it early in the morning I got you. I understand. It's, I think I will have to wait and see. I'll have to get some of that garlic stuff in a spray bottle and spray it around to keep them down so I can enjoy going out there more, in nicer hours and shoot hoops. I totally agree. I will do that too. I'll take care of that. I get my thing. I understand. But I understand I sleep more, sleep better. And I understand all the stuff and exercise. You got to move more because you got to get the toxins out of your body. And you can't feel all the people that just want to sit down and just die. And I understand. And my thing is God dang. I'm still having trouble understanding how these people that were in the Temple Set Illuminati, Primero, Parsons to Sierra Vista, can't help me stand up for the Lord's Prayer. I don't understand how it works. I do know this for sure. I do know this, okay, that it is a genocidal word game. And that the people that use most of their money and most of their technology and their influence, okay, to keep me under wraps and keep me quiet, are mass murdering each other in the Middle East and in the Ukraine and Russia. And that the other people are content in letting them, it's kind of like Lo Hao Hio on Broken Chain, let's just do neutrality and then let them bleed each other out, and then you'll come in and make all the money because you're the Swiss bankers. You know exactly who you liberals fucking are. Okay? So Jennifer and Michelle, I know your business partners better than you know your business partners. That's why I'm like, go ahead and hit me with the pipe in the shins one more time, you child molesting, mind raping ass motherfuckers. I ain't Kuta Kinte. Okay. I like Alex Haley a lot. Okay. But I'm not tribal, secular, or insular. I love people. I judge them by their deed. I don't care where they slept. I don't care where they ate. And I don't care where they're fucked. I judge people by their deed. If someone gets incarcerated in prison for 500 years, building monuments to other people's egotistical insanity, how their physical bodies react to that is not of their choosing, just like what's happening to me right now. You know, I did not choose to have my teeth rot out of my head from chemical poisoning from industries that want to make me look inadequate and make themselves look like the great medical saviors of the 21st century. Yeah, we had that bullshit in the last century. I got your Tuskegee experiments right fucking here. See me now? See me now? There's no riverbank, wrestler. There's no riverbank, wrestler. See me now? I gotta go watch my... Well, I gotta load this one up as quick as military intel can allow it, and I'm gonna go watch my highlights from the Alouettes and the Ticats. Okay, guys, I love you. We'll talk tomorrow. I gotta set the alarm because I gotta take Dad over to Ponch's at about 4:20. I love you. Peace out.